This is the Aventon Soltera 2.5. Yes, 2.5, not a full step revision, just a half step. I'll talk about all the changes and of course walk you through all the components. Then we'll get into some first-person riding footage. I'll throttle only this 350 watt motor up our hill climb test. And finally, some third-person riding footage where I'll give you the pros and cons of the Aventon Soltera 2.5. But first, let's take a closer look. Now, the Soltera 2.5 was launched alongside the Sinch 2.5. Aventon quietly released both of these electric bikes. They didn't make a big deal about it. So you're probably wondering what's new. Well, firstly, the move to hydraulic disc brakes instead of mechanical. Then we have faster rolling tires. They look very slick. And also new colors. I chose Baja, that's the fun color. Also offered in matte midnight black if you prefer. And lastly, one of the changes that I spotted was new cable management by the head tube. But yes, that is it, deserving of the 2.5 label in my opinion. If you aren't familiar with the Soltera, one of the main selling points is it's relatively lightweight, 46 pounds, still has a high weight capacity of 300 pounds, and it's offered in 3 different sizes, which can't be said for other lightweight electric bikes. It can fit riders all the way down to 5'1" up to 6'2". I'm 6 feet tall with a 32-inch inseam. This is the size large. The bike is IPX4 rated, which is good for my first-person riding footage. Pretty wet today. But one of the other main selling points is Aventon has over 1,800 dealerships across the United States. So for sales and service, they got you covered. And we can't forget about price. It's currently priced at $11.99, though you can find up-to-date pricing down in the description. Also, if you use our link before you buy any Aventon electric bike, you can support the channel for free. Thank you so much for your support. With that, let's see what you get for that $11.99. There's a look at those nice and new Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. Those are paired with 180 millimeter Tektro rotors. These faster rolling tires are from Kenda. They are 700 by 38C, have a nice reflective sidewall on them as well. It's a bolt-on front axle, rigid front fork, mounting points, yes, for fenders, but also a optional front rack. Aventon badge on the head tube, light mounted right to the stem plate, adjustable, and yes, nice and bright. And in the rear, Aventon's signature lights that are built right into the frame. They aren't brake actuated, though you do get turn signals. There's a look at the new cable management that runs right through the head tube, nice and sleek. Moving on to the cockpit, we have Aventon branded ergonomic locking grips, Tektro hydraulic disc brake levers, note, no motor cutoffs, a left-hand thumb throttle, and they're sticking with the twist shifter. This is the Sys Index from Shimano. 7 speeds. The handlebars have a swoop to them, and unlike some of the newer Aventon models, including the Sinch 2.5, you still have the old Aventon display. This has the 5-button control pad on the left. You can turn the lights on by holding pedal assist up, indicator right here. There's battery percentage, current speed, a power bar, pedal assist in the bottom left-hand corner, Eco, Tour, Sport, and Turbo. You can turn walk mode on by holding pedal assist down, indicator at the bottom. You also have the left and right turn signal indicators by pushing the left and right button. Click again to turn it off. Hitting the center button will give you additional information. Starts with odometer and total time, moving to average speed and max speed. And finally, some CO2 reduced and some trees saved. A USB-A port is located beneath the display. And yes, advanced settings, hold pedal assist up and down at the same time. Here you can clear your trip data, adjust screen brightness, set units, system info, and more importantly, connect to app. Let's show you that now. First, I'll open the Aventon app. We're going to pair a new bike and we'll scan the QR code. We'll call it the Soltera 2.5. Click pair. Now within the app, you get a lot of the same information that's displayed on the screen. You can change the pedal assist level, turn the lights on, but you can also locate your nearest dealer. You can also record a ride. You can view your recorded rides. There's a Discover tab so you can see what other Aventon riders are up to. And there's some gamification where you can earn some medals depending on how much you ride, which is kind of cool. So that is the Aventon app, one of the better ones on the market. Let's get to the battery. Hidden beneath the frame right here, keys on the left, turn right to unlock it, and then there is a tab right here which will release the battery fully. This is a 36 volt, 9.6 amp hour battery for 345.6 watt hours. The battery is UL 2271 certified. The entire bike's electronics are UL 2849. And with this being a lighter weight electric bike, yes, the battery is smaller, but it's also incredibly lightweight at just over 4 pounds. Charger port right here. There's an indicator button to give you an idea of the current charge. To put the battery back in, terminals first, and simply snap it into place, and you can remove the keys. To charge the battery when it's in the frame, there's a rubber cover right here. You also get a nice accessory box, and look at this, it's still labeled Soltera 2. So you get a user manual, some stickers even, my favorite pedal wrench that I use all the time, a decent multi-tool, even some bike grease for attaching the pedals, and an Aventon screw pack that includes an additional derailleur hanger in case you ever need it. Moving on, some branding around the frame. You get an Aventon branded sleek saddle, plastic wide platform pedals, rear mounted kickstand. It's a 350 watt motor engaged with a torque sensor. We'll talk all about how it performs in our upcoming first person riding footage. Gearing is 14 to 28 teeth in the rear. And in the front is a 48 tooth front chainring, single sided. The derailleur is entry level, Shimano tourney, again 7 speeds. And there's 2 sets of mounts to mount a bottle cage or perhaps a folding lock. Maybe you want to check out the best water bottle cage on the market, available at shop.ebikeescape.com. Can carry huge water bottles all the way up to Nalgene water bottles. With that, let's get into some first-person riding footage and see just how the Soltera 2.5 performs. Our first test will be throttle only with pedal assist turned off. No access to the throttle, but full access in any pedal assist level. All right, let's see how this 350 watt motor does. 3, 2, 1, throttle only. Keep in mind, chilly day today here in Wisconsin, around 40 degrees. There's 11, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, and there's 20 miles per hour on throttle alone on a 350 watt motor. Doesn't get you there fast, but it will get you there. Next, we'll go into all the pedal assist levels, and this is a torque sensor, which means the more power I put into my legs, the more power I get from the motor. That's compared to a cadence sensor, which gives me the same amount of power as long as I'm spinning my legs, of course, depending on the pedal assist level still. And we are in eco, first gear, and I do need to shift up second or third gear, fourth gear. Now, I will say twist shifters may be a personal preference thing, but what I do like is that I know exactly what gear I'm in. Fourth gear, easily able to just cruise at 14 miles an hour. Remember, this is just such a lighter weight electric bike compared to most on the market. Let me put in a little bit more power here. And already getting up to 17, 18 miles an hour. Can certainly feel it in my legs, but still a cadence that I could do for a long period of time. Let's slow down and go into tour, see what the easy cruising speed is. The torque sensor is very sensitive. I felt just with one harder pedal stroke, that motor immediately gave me more power. We are cruising at 14, 15 miles an hour in tour, 15. Let's go up to fifth gear, and I'm going to put in a little bit more power. Decent amount of wind today too. There's 19 miles an hour. All right, let's go up into sport mode. We'll see what the cruising speed is. Nice and easy at 17, 18 miles an hour. And putting in more effort, let's see how far we can get into the 20s. All right, there's 20 miles an hour. All right, in turbo now, and I can certainly hear the motor a little bit more. Still quieter than most motors though, being lower powered. Let's go up to 6th gear, and nice leisurely cadence. 19 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour. Shift up to 7th gear, the highest gear. All right, so 20 miles per hour is the cruising speed. All right, and putting in more power. Now this e-bike is strictly a class 2 e-bike, meaning a top speed of 20 miles per hour with the throttle and yes, pedal assist as well. No option to change the top speed in the app. If you pedal very hard, you can get it above 20 miles per hour just with no motor assistance. It's just going to be very difficult to maintain that speed, with the exception being maybe for an avid cyclist or pushing for short bursts. Comfort-wise, the seat, certainly a sleeker style seat, doesn't add a ton of comfort, but not the worst one I've tested. I actually appreciate the handlebars having a slight swoop to them, a slightly more relaxed riding position, and of course the bike just feels a lot more nimble than a heavy e-bike. And of course I love these brakes, the Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. The road is slippery, but they'll stop you really quickly, especially with this being a lighter weight electric bike. But let's really put this 350 watt motor to the test up our hill climb test. All right, our first test will be throttle only. Yes, we're gonna see if this bike can take me up a huge hill on throttle alone. The GoPro makes this hill look so much smaller than it is. So we'll put a picture as well as the specs of the hill on the screen. And cruising just under 20 miles per hour. All right, hill is starting now and we are still at 98% battery. Going down to 13 miles an hour, 12, 11. There's definitely a certain whine to this motor when it's going full power, but we are going to make it up the hill on throttle only. 8 miles an hour is what it held us at most of the way, but this is an electric bike after all, and one that more than others is meant to be pedaled. So I'll go back down the hill and do the hill climb test again while pedaling. All right, here we go. Eco pedal assist level, 1st gear. And actually, this isn't as bad as I thought. I'm just keeping my legs moving nice and easily and cruising up at 8 miles an hour. I wouldn't say no effort, but this is pretty surprising given the power of this motor. Also torque sensors sometimes on this hill. It's just harder to get power from the motor, but I could go up the hill if I wanted to conserve battery in eco. But let's go into tour. I don't feel a significant difference there, though if I push harder on my legs, certainly I'm going to get more power from the motor, getting up to 10 miles an hour or so. Let's go into sport. Again, spinning my legs nice and easy. Don't feel a significant amount of more power compared to eco. That extra power really comes in when you push harder on the pedals. More moderate cadence and pressure, going about 11 miles an hour. But if you want to cruise up a hill like this, probably want to go into a turbo, going up about 9 miles an hour, but a little bit more power from my legs. And we're getting up to 12 miles an hour. Or something to consider is just using the throttle, holding it down, and just shift into your preferred gear and just know that you're getting full power from the motor. Something to keep in mind as an alternative as well. And we are at the top of the hill. With that, let's get into some third-person riding footage. I'll give you my concluding thoughts on the Aventon Soltera 2.5. Aventon made a few slight upgrades to the Soltera 2.5, allowing it to compete better with other lightweight e-bikes in a similar category. The most notable improvement here, especially when looking at those competing e-bikes, is the addition of hydraulic disc brakes, which have almost become standard at this price point. At $11.99, Aventon is keeping things competitive, especially in my opinion considering its extensive dealership network. The Soltera 2.5 is best suited for urban environments, perhaps those commuting, and also for riders who are already comfortable with thinner tires on a non-electric bike, but want that extra boost. This e-bike would also be great if you need something to cruise around campus, and of course, if you need to lift it up a flight of stairs, certainly doable with the Soltera 2.5 versus many other e-bikes on the market. Now, it's not perfect, we'll get into that, but there's a lot to like. One major perk is the throttle, which helps with quick starts, like zipping through intersections. Throttles aren't a given on e-bikes with smaller batteries, so keep that in mind. Aventon also offers the bike in 3 frame sizes, which is uncommon at this price point and means you'll be able to get a more custom fit. The frame itself looks sleek, and the integrated rear lights paired with the turn signals are a nice touch. The removable battery is handy, though just keep in mind it does blend in better with the black color option. Thanks to the torque sensor, the Soltera 2.5 offers a great riding experience. Even with a smaller 350 watt motor, you can still cruise at around 20 miles per hour in the highest pedal assist level if you want to take it easy. Keep in mind though, you'll get less than the 46 mile claimed max range from the 9.6 amp hour battery when riding at these higher speeds. The center-mounted color LCD display is a bonus too. Many minimalist style e-bikes opt for something smaller, so it's nice to have a larger display here. Here are the key considerations. While this bike is clearly capable of Class 3 speeds, it's limited to 20 miles per hour as strictly a Class 2 e-bike. I'm curious why, because this style of e-bike, thin tires and all, seems more suited to seasoned riders rather than first-time e-bikers. In some ways, other lightweight e-bikes might have an edge over the Soltera 2.5, especially in the drivetrain. The entry-level tourney derailleur is okay, but an Altus would have been nicer. That said, I did warm up to the twist shifter. It shifts smoothly. Also, no accessories are included. You can't really fault Aventon for that, but you might want to consider their optional fenders. Aventon did offer a mid-step version of the Soltera at one point, though maybe it just didn't sell as well. I still think a mid-step would be a great offering for those who want the increased accessibility and those who just aren't keen on a traditional diamond frame. If any of our reviews have helped you with your purchase decision, you can support us by using our affiliate links in the description. It costs you nothing. Thank you so much for your support. All in all, the Soltera 2.5 stacks up well in the market. While I would have liked a few more upgrades, Aventon clearly focused on the essentials with this half iteration. Even without those extra features, if you're after an affordable, lightweight e-bike from a trusted brand with a large dealership network, you really can't go wrong. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Which other lightweight e-bikes are you considering or would you consider? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.